Tim in Tucson, you're next on the EIB network, sir. Hello.
Hello, Rush. Yeah, I was just going to say about your Barack Obama, the Magic Dragon piece. I think that's really dangerous. And the reason why is...
Have you heard it?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Do you know the roots of it?
Yes.
What are they?
Well, it's basically due to white guilt.
No. But I mean, who was the first to originally use the phrase Barack the Magic Negro?
David Aaronstein, a non-white male.
Way to go. That's good. And do you know why I have Reverend Sharpton singing it?
No.
Well, because after Joe Biden, another Democrat, said after Obama was in the race, it's great, we finally have somebody clean and articulate running for president. The New York Post ran a story about Sharpton being a little jealous because he takes a bath every day, and he was a presidential candidate. And here's Biden and these other Democrats talking about how clean and articulate Obama is, and the New York Post story said that there might be a little jealousy here. So, there's a timeline. Everything in that parody is indeed a parody of what liberals and leftists are saying.
Okay, well, let me tell you why I think it's dangerous. All right, you being a white male and being collectively the smartest, most powerful people on the planet, you're very influential, and I'm afraid that piece it plays to your some of your racists in your audience, and that need a measuring stick.
All right.
So I think it's really dangerous.
Yeah, what's dangerous is you characterizing members of an audience that you don't know as racist. And you're doing this, again, from a standpoint of ignorance. I'm glad you called, because I actually am glad to have the opportunity to tell you this. As I have said repeatedly, it breaks my heart to see how minorities in this country are treated by the people who claim to be their champions, because those people who claim to be their champions are the exact opposite. It is not I, nor is it this audience, who are racists. I didn't come up with this whole concept of Barack and this Magic Negro thing. It is leftists in this country who are obsessed with skin color and gender and sexual orientation and grouping people into those categories and then seeing them as victims. And when you see them as victims, you don't see their full potential. You deny it. You see people who are incompetent. And it breaks my heart. We are conservatives. We want the best for everybody. We believe that we're human beings. I don't look at Barack Obama and say, is he black enough? Liberals write pieces about Barack Obama and ask is he black enough on the basis of does he have roots to the civil rights protests and movement in this country. It ought to be irrelevant. But what kind of racism is that, to disqualify a Democrat presidential candidate who happens to be black because he doesn't have ties to the civil rights movement? I'm not the one doing it. It's liberal Democrats that are writing these pieces and making these claims. I'm not the one that said, hey, we've got an articulate black guy on our side now. Joe Biden, a Democrat, said this. I am not holding Obama up as an object of abuse. They are. They are disrespecting Obama and who he is as a human being by judging him strictly and solely on his genetic makeup and his skin color, and to a certain extent, whether or not he has direct ties to protests in Selma, Alabama, and wherever in the 1950s and 60s, Brown versus Board of Education. My audience doesn't look at him that way. If my audience has a choice of voting for Barack Obama for president, if he ends up being the nominee, people in this audience, Tim, are going to make up their minds on the basis, do they agree with his policies? The people in this audience are interested in the future of the country for themselves and their kids, and we care about ideas here. I am a conservative. I think liberals are wrong, and I think they pose a threat to the things I believe in. I like to parody them and make fun of it by illustrating absurdity by being absurd. This is what I do. It's what I've done for 18 and a half years. There would never have been a Barack the Magic Negro had Sharpton not gotten all bent out of shape over Biden's comment and had all these columns been written in the newspapers about is Barack Obama black enough. And I'm making fun not of Obama. I'm making fun, and he knows this, by the way, I'm making fun of the people who are disrespecting him as a human being, and that ain't me. We in the conservative movement, sir, we want prosperity, excellence, achievement for as many people who desire it. Liberals in this country look at people and don't see that that's possible in many cases, and so they said, they're victims, we need government programs here, government programs there, and they have no confidence in people to succeed. We want a great country. That means as much achievement and as much accomplishment, as solid a moral code as we can have. Not that everybody's going to follow it, but we need the line. We need the guardrails. It's all about kids. It's all about the future, kids and grandkids. And that's what we want. And this is why Obama, when given the chance to rail back at me, didn't. He laughed it off. Said, hey, Rush is an entertainer. You gotta be able to take being poked fun at here. Problem is, he's not the one being poked fun of. Al Sharpton is, David Ehrenstein, and all the other authors of these pieces that is Barack Obama. Black enough. There are no racists in this audience, or not as a general. There might be racists everywhere. But I'll tell you what, this audience is not comprised of racists. It's not comprised of people who hate. The largest audience in radio talk show history could not maintain itself for this many years if it were based on hate, if it were based on lies, if it were based on untruths. The people in this audience are among the most informed. Surveys have indicated the people in this audience are among the most educated. And you people on the left who refuse to accept this are never going to understand what you're truly dealing with in a competitive sense when you try to take this show out. Your attacks are feeble. They're not based in any kind of truth. And to call here and to say that I am giving aid and comfort to the racists in this audience is as insulting as anything you can say to me, because it means that you think this audience is a bunch of mind-numbed robots who don't have anything but hatred, racism, or some other ism in their heart. When in fact, when I listen to Democrats today and Democrat supporters, I hear so much rage and hatred that I don't believe it. I've been listening to it for 3 years. I hear so much racism. I hear so much sexism. I've got the next story in the stack. I've got 2 stories here. Why women hate Hillary by a woman. I got a story about this female candidate for the president of France, Ségolène Royal. Women hate her. It's women writing this stuff. I'm going to talk about it. People like you, Tim, are going to sit there and tell me that I'm abusing Mrs. Clinton. I'm taking your buddies in your media, and I'm regurgitating what they say. One of these stories is in these Times. Another one is from the Washington Post. Better to examine your own house for racism, sexism, bigotry, and all these things before you start throwing these accusations around, because you have no clue what you're talking about.